This morning, attorneys for Derek Chauvin, the former police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd back in 2020, will be back in a Minnesota courtroom. They are trying to get Chauvin back in front of a judge for a new trial.
In Chauvin's appeal, his legal team argues that there were several legal and procedural errors that prevented the former Minneapolis police officer from getting a fair trial. NBC News correspondent Shaq Brewster joins us now with the latest on today's proceedings. So, Shaq, good morning here. Tell us more about what Chauvin's attorneys are arguing and what we can expect in court today.
Good morning, guys. And yes, there are three big asks coming from the Chauvin legal team when they sit before the panel of judges later today. The three of them. First, they want the trial and they want this case to be reversed. That murder conviction in April of 2021, they want that conviction to be completely reversed. If not that, then they want it to be reversed and remand for a new trial in a new venue, specifically not Hennepin County, which is where Minneapolis sits. And if not that, they are asking for a remand and for resentencing. They say that the sentence that Derek Chauvin received, about 21 and a half years in prison, that was too large. What they're arguing is that there were essentially too many factors that made it impossible for Derek Chauvin to have a fair trial. They say, and this is a quote from one of the briefs, they say pretrial publicity was more extensive than in any trial ever in the state of Minneapolis. They say that coverage glorified Mr. Floyd. It condemned and it demonized, in their words, Mr. Chauvin. And they also say that it had an impact on the jury, that jurors weren't able to be impartial because of that pretrial publicity. This was a long appeal, so there were plenty of accusations in it. One of them, they also say that the prosecutors engaged in misconduct, that they were being tricky with handing over evidence. They say that one of the jurors were biased. And they also say that that sentence, again, that Derek Chauvin received in 2021 was simply too long. So they're asking the court to reverse all of that, essentially.
So, Shaq, this is not surprising. Appeals are expected. How is the state responding to this appeal?
Yeah, you got a very forceful response from the state, essentially defending all of the actions that prosecutors took in this trial, and even defending some of the actions and decisions that the judge in this trial came up with. In terms of juror misconduct and jurors being biased, they say there's simply no evidence for that. They say that, yes, some jurors expressed some skepticism. They did say that they were familiar with the case, they were familiar with the situation, but that they each pledged to be impartial as they deliberated and as they considered an ultimate decision here. They say that the crime that Derek Chauvin committed was particularly egregious, so that the sentence matched the crime that he committed. So you had a very forceful response from the state, from the prosecutors. When we see both sides appear before a panel of judges today, you can expect those arguments to go on for about 35 minutes. But because of these court filings, we got a good sense of what we can expect them to say before the panel of judges today.
Well, Shaq, we know Chauvin is also serving a federal prison sentence for depriving George Floyd of his constitutional rights. How would this appeal impact that if any number of those things that you cited would be granted?
In short, it would not impact that at all. I mean, Derek Chauvin is actually serving this state sentence in a federal prison. That was part of a plea deal that he came up with, or that prosecutors and with the federal government and Derek Chauvin's team agreed to. So you see, he's serving that 22 and a half years. He's guilty of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. He's sentenced on the second-degree murder charge, but with the plea deal for that federal crime that he committed, he's serving that in a federal prison. So bottom line, he will stay in the exact same prison even if he were granted this appeal. By the way, most legal observers say that he has, the odds essentially are stacked against him, that he has a lower chance of getting this appeal.
All right, Shaq, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.